Check 1, 2. All right, we're in. What's up, everybody? It's Tuesday, and that means Terraform. It's so good to be back in it. Very excited. Goodness gracious, the party is in a dungeon. Third episode of this dungeon, looking for a mountain giant, with the hopes of going forward to help free the giants from the natives. I'm Sir Feffers. Thank you for being here. These episodes will be up on the Jake and Feffers YouTube channel. Jake, he's right below me. Say hi, Jake.
Hello.
He is the best of us. Also, I will be sending pictures and stuff like that to the Discord. And Yame's throwing the links up right now for that Discord. What else to say? Some of us will be doing a little after party in the Discord as well. Whoa, that's a sound. What is that? Where's it coming from? Hey, am I the only one hearing that?
No, I can't hear it.
Oh, okay. Everybody wiggle your microphone connections.
Mine was muted when it happened. I have.
Regardless, thank you all for coming. Very excited. Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm gonna pass it over to Jake, and he's going to tell us about him, his character, and then pass it off to somebody else.
Hey everyone, I'm Critfail Jake. You can find me on TikTok and Instagram. I do mostly cosplay content there. I'm playing Thranduin Winsburn, the what is he? He's a half-elf drow, warlock fighter. That's what he is. I don't really remember a ton of what was going on, so I can't really give you his exact headspace, other than he got a dope new set of armor and he's ready to go save some giants.
You did just have the back of your hand cut so that Whisper could do a vibe check on you.
That's right, and I agreed to never let it happen again.
That's right.
Because it was such a fun experience. Yeah. It was agreed to the first time, and I was like, "Yep, no, that's enough for me." I will
no
pass
promises that it won't happen again.
Well, it just depends on if you want to live or not. Passing on to Dorky.
Hey guys, I'm that dorky cosplayer. You can find me on all the things. I play Brady, the half-elf bard, and I also have a slightly fuzzy memory because it's been a little bit. But if my memory is correct, Brady was slightly upset is too strong of a word, but kind of weary about putting green into that cell dungeon, magic dungeon thing, just because she hated it so much. She hated the idea of it, and that guy who runs the dungeon is alive, so that's still making her very nervous and not happy. But she almost fell. So she's just kind of a little bit nervous. There's a lot going on. They've learned a lot, and she's just kind of a little anxious, but not any too extreme emotions.
Okay.
And with that, I will pass it off to Taylor.
Hey everyone, I am Taylor and Tracy. You can find me everywhere. It's Taylor and Tracy. I play Terraform, the satyr druid. I think she's also mostly interested in the giants and going towards saving that and everything like that. She's also, in the back of her mind, in the forefront of mine, is she wants to go find one of those golden dandelions that she blew all over the area, and now with the new staff that she has, she can turn one of them into a little living dandelion. So that's kind of always in the back of her mind too. She's going to be keeping an eye out for that too. And I will pass it to Pillowsuit.
Hi, I'm Mr. Pillowsuit. I'm the reason why the first 2 weeks you guys didn't see any of us. Because I was moving, and as you can see, the room has now changed a little bit. And I play Otto Kane, a rogue tiefling, and from last time I remember, we were doing some stabby stabs with my knife Whisper, and that was an interesting little experiment that we
Mhm.
played.
Mhm.
But I can't remember too much from that. I know we recapped a little bit of it, but as of right now, I think he's just kind of like, he's curious to see what Whisper has in store for potential foreshadowing. So we'll see what we can do with that. And with that, I will send it off to GoodGriefGeorge.
Hi, I'm GoodGriefGeorge. Nice to meet you. I'm GoodGriefGeorge everywhere on the socials, on Twitch and Instagram and TikTok and Twitter and Clapper and is anyone?
Oh, yeah,
Clapper's
I made a
Clapper.
Clapper account and
Woo,
people
I made
keep
a
liking
Clapper
it.
account.
I'm like,
I don't know.
Made a Clapper account.
made
That's
it,
all
put a
I
single
got
video
like
out.
200 people on there.
Nice. I haven't
Right.
logged in since I just posted the one video.
Yeah, same.
Jake is frozen on the fantastic face.
Oh, that is.
Oh, that is
Oh,
gold.
nice.
Oh, yes.
Oh. Jake, you good, bud?
Anyway,
Clever.
Jake, you with us?
Oh.
Go ahead, George.
while we're trying to rescue Jake from his internet, I play Fizbin Ramsey, the Dragonborn Tempest Cleric of the Stormfather. Hail Hydrate. And his headspace is a little worried. It was already kind of worried going into last session due to discovering these things, that these items that were like really, really strong, and finding out that the giants had a god, like a real god, and yet still got completely demolished by this demigod, this fake god. So he was concerned there, and now he's kind of piecing together through all of the explanation of everything he's been told in the past and the information he just got now, that Sam is probably the catalyst that Harmony is using to turn into, or to come back out into the world and be released. And knowing that the party that he chose were all friends with Sam, he's not feeling 100% safe right now. So he's gonna, we'll see where that takes us from there. But that's where his headspace is at.
Adventures
And-
and Initiative. Thank you for the raid. You're coming in right at the beginning.
Thank you.
Much appreciated. Yeah, so that's where we're going to be kind of jumping in. Pretty excited. The party, after having taken the Oni, which was this mutated giant, down into that portable dungeon they have, they came back up and are next to a door. And Brady has put up the force field bubble, Lehman's tiny hut. And the party is kind of just decompressing and kind of learning, kind of piecing things together. What you guys do? You've got 8 hours and then you've got your long rest. Go.
I think what I was doing was I was just stabbing people.
Are you gonna pull Whisper back out? So you were talking and you kinda
Yeah, we were
shifted.
talking. I guess
That's quite the way to put it. I was just stabbing people, you know. But
Hey, he's
well,
a
so
rogue.
I mean, we stabbed, or I stabbed Thranny,
Mhm.
and then I stabbed the Harmony Juice. I'm
Mhm.
trying to.
That's what all
That's all
yeah.
I stabbed.
Yeah.
What else can I stab?
Kinda.
I'll just be attuning for an hour to my girdle,
Okay.
or
You're-
whatever you called it.
Yeah. Okay.
The tunic.
So are you pulling the knife back out then?
It was. I mean, I put it away because it was talking too much.
Yeah.
So I think I'm personally gonna try to get some shut eye. At this
Okay. Okay. You roll over and get you some sleep. Anyone else do anything?
I'll also attune and then sleep.
Okay. Okay.
same.
All right. Okay. Everyone gets their attunements and slowly gets some sleep. You get your full long rest. You wake up. You kind of look around. Nothing seems to have changed. You can see vague light shiftings because it's now a different time of day and stuff like that. Again, you're in a hall. If you were to go back towards where you came from, you would eventually come back to another T, where you saved Green the Oni, and then there's the double doors behind you, which were locked and are not locked anymore. You guys wake up after 8 hours of rest. You've got another 2 hours, I believe, before the bubble goes down.
Maybe let's try and get our buddy out of the prison, since I made a swear on my god.
I have that written down.
I specifically said I would get him out in the morning, so
It's
let's open her up.
It's technically still morning. Give me a sec. How close are the doors?
The large double doors are behind you guys. You guys kind of camped out in front of the doors. That's the benefit of having that tiny hut, is that you can just camp down wherever.
And are they unlocked or are they open?
They are now unlocked.
So we can just see that they're unlocked, but it's not like a jar or anything.
No, it is closed.
Okay.
Talk about the room that like people disappear in.
Yeah.
Because those are the doors we're up against. Is the one that there was no smell of people that my dogs found, but I
And we
think
had
the
Green
other-
translate the
Yeah.
writing.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, those doors.
Those
So
doors.
they are open. Okay, interesting.
They're unlocked.
They're unlocked.
I
Yes.
asked if they're open and they're not.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Thank you for the follow, Nerdy Libby.
I say we go get Green. Unless
Okay.
there's anything you want to do before we get Green.
If we're all very confused about why it is these doors are now unlocked, maybe he would know, since he translated the door for us.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go get Olive out of his jail cell.
Okay. You place down the waystones and kind of pivot it, and you watch the ground around in that area kind of ripple and warp inwards, and you smell like a dead, like a carcass smell kind of wafting up. And you kind of look down, and Green is sitting on the desk, not in his cage, just kind of. And there's no jail tender guy. He's not anywhere to be seen.
That's okay. He comes back.
Yeah, he comes back.
Finally.
All right, Pistachio, let's go.
Good morning.
He kind of walks up the stairs.
I was beginning to suspect you would let me rot down there.
No, you clearly. Why would you think that?
We had to sleep.
I gave my word to my god.
Yes, you did. You did. And you have let me back out. Thank you.
He kind of has to kind of squeeze himself through the hole, but he kind of looking around. I think the bubble's still up, and so he kind of looks around and goes and steps out of the bubble.
Well, if he wasn't in the bubble when it was cast, he wouldn't be able to walk through the bubble at all.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Oh.
So he just-
for-
So he just hits his head.
yeah, he doesn't get out. He just dunk. Okay.
Ready to take us to this giant?
Yes, I have deemed it fit that if you shall not kill me, then I might as well bear witness.
Cool.
That and you like
Okay.
have to guide us or something like that. Like,
Yeah. Also something about that. Yeah.
The threat of that mind spike hovering over him that doesn't actually exist anymore, that he hasn't learned about the fact that it's not going to happen again.
well, it's a new day. It will now.
Once a day,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's once a
Oh,
day.
okay, cool. So he kind of comes out and he kind of stretches, assuming that the bubble goes down, and you guys are ready to continue.
Yeah, if we're ready to go.
Yeah,
Alright.
we're
Ready
ready
to go?
He
Um,
also go ahead.
I was gonna say, I didn't say it earlier, but I meant to. Just as a general rule, not only is Brady making sure that the maps are being kept to as much detail as she can when they have those resting moments, but she's also started keeping a journal and has written basically everything that has happened thus far, as well as in it, like the back of the book, things that happened in her childhood, because she no longer really trusts her own memories. So she's trying to keep a paper trail now.
Cool. Smart.
Ooh.
Okay. Yeah, he's also going to kind of stand up and kind of... So Green gets up there and kind of stretches, and he goes...
That was locked.
We were wondering if you knew anything about that, why it would be unlocked.
No.
Woke up and it was like that.
Something must have unlocked it from the other side. Or someone got past you.
Well, I mean, we were sleeping.
You hear urgent whisperings, Otto.
Oh, do I?
Someone was awake all night.
All right, I pick up Whisper. What's up?
Hi. Yeah, I don't think anyone went by while you were sleeping. I was really bored. Yeah.
He continues.
So
it continues to ramble until you cut it off, talking about how bored it was.
Okay, but it didn't see anything or feel anything go past?
Nothing with blood.
Okay. Well, that's...
Talks to the dagger, Green. Don't worry about it.
It's a new thing.
It's a thing.
It's a
It's a
thing.
thing.
Okay, so... Alright, I'm just gonna put Whisper back. Cool.
Thanks, bye.
Okay, thanks, bye. So whatever opened this thing is on the other side. It never passed us.
Green, can you remind me, what did the runes say on it again?
It's a great question. The DM doesn't remember.
What you know is in the room?
He doesn't know what's in the room.
Okay.
That is a direction we needed to go, yes.
Yes.
I say we go for it.
Okay. Yeah, we gotta go either way.
Okay.
After you, guide.
He goes up and like grabs a hold of one of the large double doors and moves it open like a foot. And then goes,
Oh, you scared, bud? What is it?
Nope,
Talk to us.
Nope.
What?
and he just kind of
Seafoam, what are you doing?
I don't want none of that. No, thank you.
Can I go peek? He didn't freeze. Last time in the other room, he froze.
This is true.
So
Careful.
Give me just a second.
I'm gonna like
page
reach one hand out and I'm
218.
gonna like hold Birdie's hand as I so just in case she can hit me back.
I can reach it. I was able to reach it. I will post a picture in the Discord.
Oh, yay.
Oh.
It will. Before you, in a large room with another two double doors behind you, behind the thing you see, a strange, slimy coagulation is on the ceiling of a ruined mosaic, and stringy bits kind of sliding down into the center of the room, where there is a woman, Elven, in a white dress. She also seems to be made of this slime.
Who sees this?
Me. I'll pull myself back and be like, it looks like some slimy, gooey things coming from the ceiling, and then it goes into a lady.
I'll poke my head in. Take a look.
Posting a picture on the Terraform.
Is there a religion check I could do to maybe try and identify it, or
you
no?
You may go ahead and make a religion check.
Have I seen anything like it on the island?
You've seen things like this, but nothing of this level.
Oh, icky.
I got a 7.
Got a 7? Well, you know it's an ooze of some kind.
Yes. You're right. It's definitely sticky.
Gross.
Oozy stickies.
Gross.
Put it away.
How far away is it from the entrance of the door?
About 100 feet.
100 feet. Okay.
Yeah, large room, multiple pillars, very large.
Are the remaining creatures behind this image also there?
Or
is it just
that
like...
is the like mess on the ceiling.
Okay.
And then it kind of comes down to a person.
Does it look like just gel? Does it look like actual faces?
As you kind of look at it, you can see shifting faces kind of forming and then dissipating, merging together.
Oh, that's not right.
That's a thing.
That's not
a
right
whole
at all.
thing.
Unsubscribe.
Uncheck that bell button. All right.
Doesn't pass go.
Okay. So.
Does the lady look? What's her facial expressions looking
Just
like?
Just blank.
Oh, good.
She kind of tilts her head.
Well, nothing like good old diplomacy for the cleric.
Okay.
I look back at the giant. It's just a young lady.
How many young ladies do you have having oozing protrusions forming a gelatinous mass behind them?
The Oni points at the tiefling.
You're assuming that she doesn't need our help.
I don't think that she does need our help. I think that she's
heroes always so invested in helping people.
Lawful good, still lawful stupid.
Go ahead, Otto.
So...
I cut you off, Otto. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, how about we try something different first? Like, how about we see whether or not this thing even knows our language?
You're right. Talking to the monster is definitely something we don't normally do. I like that plan.
Great. Anybody got some parchment?
You're muted, Haley.
Stop being muted.
No, you're still muted. There you are.
Haley, what?
Dorky?
Nope,
No.
I can't hear you.
Oh, no. Oh,
Something happened when you touched that.
keep talking.
Punch it. Just punch it.
Punch it. Tap it.
Louder.
Slap
Twist
it.
it.
Bop
Pull it.
No. I think we lost.
Oh, no.
I think we lost Haley's mic.
You tried
Oh, okay.
pulling it in and out
Increasing
again.
frustration.
Pull it out.
Brady's gone
And then
mute
put it
for
back
the
in.
rest of the campaign.
Like an SNES cartridge.
And then Brady just-
blow on it.
Oh, no. Speaking of, I'm noticing I'm not getting chat. What's up with that?
I don't know. No, nothing. Dorky, is it okay if I begin meandering in to begin the conversation? Okay. All right.
I don't think that we. No.
Strong feelings about that one.
But the giant seems to know what it is. Why are you so worried about this?
Cast
So,
counter
someone
charm.
give me parchment, even if they have to pantomime it.
No one's charmed yet. No one's being charmed yet. Don't worry. You just.
Does the giant know what this creature is?
Are you gonna go talk to him?
I said the thing. That you seem to know what this is. Like, why are you so afraid of it?
I, as a rule, don't like dangerous and sticky. Not really something I would be interested in tangling with.
Great.
I can't even be mad about that argument. Like, I too don't really enjoy dangerous, sticky situations. So
My scales get all clicky.
no, this is glass. This is not great.
Like children, they're sticky too. It's disgusting.
Oh.
Great. This is getting us nowhere. I'm gonna use thaumaturgy and I'm gonna yell at this thing.
Okay.
I see you going to cast thaumaturgy, and I'm like, don't you dare until we have a plan.
I'm gonna talk to it from the gate so we can shut it if we need to.
This is revenge on
If you're
Crichton.
going to shout, allow me to at least make your eyes glow first. It's
Okay,
all about
Okay, so
presentation.
Dorky's
Well, make
messaging
my
that
eyes
she
go
wants.
too then. I gotta yell.
Dorky's messaging that she wants to use counter charm, and she says, as an action you can perform until the end of your next turn. During that time, you and any friendly creatures within 30 feet that can hear you gave advantage on saving throws against being frightened or charmed. So
Oh, I see.
Brittany starts doing that, and as long as you stay within 30 feet of her, she is a beacon of counter charm.
Perfect.
it's-
Seeing
it's
as
just
everybody
until-
else is on the other side of this this gate.
But it is just until the end of your next turn, so it's 6 seconds.
Yeah. But
Great.
oh yeah. Just wave about when you want us to use it. When you want to use it. She says, okay.
You can yeah, like ready the action if you see something suspicious. You're like, no, or something along those lines.
Ah.
I can also use I can enhance ability when someone has something specific that they want to do. Whenever we need help.
All right, fair enough.
Poor Dorky.
Yeah, just let me know.
Zoom
Okay,
is.
so we good?
I don't know. Dorky, say something. No. Oh no. We're gonna take 5. We're gonna take 5, and we're gonna
Alright,
go
let's
from
take 5.
there. We'll be right
Let's
back,
take 5.
homies. I'm gonna put on some more engaging music just for you guys.
Just for you.
Because you're just assuming that we're gonna.
And we back in.
Yeah, it did do the head. It did
Oh,
the,
Did do like a.
the creepy head tilt.
I was focusing on it. I was like, what is that?
All right, we're back in it.
All right.
Mercy.
Yep, yep.
All right. So,
All right.
we got a couple of different ideas. What's the game plan here?
So I was gonna shoot an arrow at it with the letter and see if it could read it, but if we want to yell at this thing, let's do that instead. So make my eyes burn bright.
Okay. You make your eyes burn bright.
Cool.
That's my spell casting.
Brady, if you wanna use that counter charm, that'd be great. Here we go.
Counter charm.
Hello, can you?
As the sound hits it, it kind of ripples, but it doesn't react.
It's not reacting.
It begins kind of stepping forward a little bit.
Okay, now it's getting closer.
Not a ton. It's not like using its full movement, but it is kind of just
Is
almost
there
serpentine.
Is there like a door on the other side of the room that's like where we need to get to?
Same double doors, yeah.
Should we
Can-
make a
Oh.
run forward?
Do they
Well,
also have the runes?
Maybe
and
it
stuff around
doesn't speak common.
No.
You spoke in common, yeah?
I'll yell at in Minotaur. I'll yell, "Do you understand me?"
It does
I'm
not
gonna
react.
try Elvish.
Okay.
Do you understand us?
It does understand Elvish.
Oh, it looks.
there
Because
you
it's
It
an
seems to
elf.
perk up. And it stops
Hi.
walking.
Oh, you're speaking that. Walk away.
Shoots him a look like, you really want to take issue with this now.
Okay. What do you do?
Ask her if we can pass by. We mean no harm.
She's gonna just slightly stick her head out just a little bit. Hello, we don't mean you any harm. We're just passing through. Would it be okay if we pass through? Hi.
Yeah, that's a big pile of nope right there, waving at us.
Oh man. Just one moment. One of our people is a little bit nervous about closed rooms. Just one moment.
How far is away the door?
So it's about 100 feet to the creature, and then about another 100 feet past the creature to the door. And you're also standing in front of a door. You're right next to it.
Yeah, I get that.
Okay. Just making sure.
I mean, that's 200 feet. We could.
I got a walking speed of 30.
That means you got a running speed of 60. I could transform into a horse and put you on my back and just.
Can we see if there's
We've just
like
left our horses behind, huh?
Yeah.
Spackles?
Spackles.
Can we see if the door behind it is open?
Make a perception check.
Okay. Like that.
Whoa, yeah, I saw that. I thought you did like a thing with your hand.
I boop guidance him.
Yeah.
Good
You boop
transition,
guidance.
Pillowsuit.
I used to be good at that.
It also helps if you're not.
Wait, did you
like,
give me
angled.
advantage?
I gave you guidance.
Which
so
is
D4.
an additional D4.
An additional D4? Okay, so that's 13, 14, 15, 17?
17. Okay. You see little bits of rubble kind of out from under the door. You think maybe the stone giant has blockaded himself inside that room.
So that means that door ain't opening.
Well,
Might be barred from the
Not
other side.
until we get rid of this thing.
You know what?
Are we sure she's an enemy? I mean, she gives me
How-
enemy vibes, but are we sure?
How
Yeah,
big is
no.
the gap underneath the door?
Minimal. Very small. It's just that little bit of like rubble you see kind of having been scattered out and like dust and stuff like that.
Is it big enough for an arrow?
Yes.
Nice.
Ooh.
I like your thought.
Mmm.
All right. I'm going to try something. If it doesn't work, then this is going to get bad. But I'm going to pull out one of my magic bolts.
Okay.
And I'm going to shoot it right in between the party.
Okay.
And then I'm going to shoot another... Going to try to shoot another one either underneath the door or as close to the
Roll to hit.
underneath the door. Huh?
Roll to hit.
Okay.
Can you give him guidance again? Would that give him...
Bardic inspiration.
Yeah, oh yeah, bardic inspiration. I have a thing. I can do that.
I could see Thranduin being like, "You're a bard, right?" Yeah.
I give inspiration for
Bard
you.
is just like, hey, is there any way you can help
And that
this
was my
guy
version
out
of
with
helping, so it's
that?
an advantage.
Is there, I don't get it. Is there anyone here that can just do that?
Oh my goodness.
With the harp in hand.
Thank you, Libby.
Yeah, bardic inspiration, which is a 1d10.
Oh my god.
Okay.
I mean, you can give guidance too and have a D10.
And the help action from Jake, is that correct? From Thranduin?
Yeah.
So 1d4 from
10.
Terra, 1d10
Oh, yeah.
from Brady, advantage from Thranduin, and whatever pluses you have as a rogue.
All right. So I'm shooting this thing. Let me see.
Good lord.
Ah. Here. Okay. So.
While
we're
he's
doing-
thinking on that,
let's-
I'm gonna ready Wall of Thorns to go around the ooze if it starts to attack.
Okay.
In a
And
circle.
while
So you give
that's
him the
happening,
aid, and then you do that. Okay.
Yeah.
So with the advantage, I've got 18, and then D4,
A D4 and a D10.
and a D4 and a D10.
Does guidance work on attacks?
24.
I don't know. I think that might actually. I think you're right. I think that's ability checks. 24.
Yes.
Yeah. it's
You
just
watch
ability
the
check.
bolt
Yeah.
through the party, past the ooze. It skips once on the tile floor and just goes right under the door, just as it's coming right back down, just to hit the floor again.
Skill.
As soon as it's underneath, I'm gonna teleport it.
Okay, you got okay. You activate the magic item, and you guys watch as he disappears.
Did anyone know he could do that?
No.
I love that Fizbin didn't. Oh, yay! Hi!
Food.
Now I'm
They
hungry.
say hello.
Everyone say hi. Chat say hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Dinner time.
Steak menu, this is the other side of the T-bone.
Oh, that looks so good. What
Oh,
the
that
heck?
really does look good. Can you cook for me too?
I'm
Can I have
coming
some
over.
food? Oh, okay, bye.
Bye.
That's love. Okay.
Did pretty awesome.
Okay. He disappears. Otto, you're in a huge throne room of giant proportion. Sleeping on said throne, kind of hunched, is a stone giant. The throne is too big for him. He is literally huddled up on one corner, one leg over an armrest. He has this massive bear pelt draped over. He's got a hood up, and he seems to be like just now waking up. What do you do? He hasn't spotted you yet. You
yeah.
do see that the bolt is gone. You have replaced it. That one bolt has been used. Make sure you mark that.
Yes.
Does the bolt replace his body?
No, it uses the ammunition. He has a finite amount of these bolts.
I had 15 bolts. Now I have 13 with both of those being. Or
Yeah.
I haven't.
You
used
have
the
one
second
back at
bolt yet, but-
Sovas's place.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I also have that one over at Silvas's. Okay. So. I'm gonna use super sneak to just.
Okay. Roll
kind
for
of-
stealth.
That's gonna be a 26.
Okay. So there's various statues that have been kind of thrown down and stuff like that. You can see the door has been propped up with multiple statues, and one of the pillars has been literally just leaned up against the door, stuff like that. And so you scurry and kind of lie down, breaking view from the stone giant. Do I hear birds? That's
Yeah, I
not
heard
from me.
birds.
That's probably me. Sorry, I'll mute myself.
No, that's okay. I don't mind birds.
Let me see. So with the statues and everything, I'm just saying, it's like, I really wish I had Crichton teach me giant.
Don't we all?
But that being said, trying to think of what to do here. I need to get this thing's attention, but not on me.
Okay.
Seriously, did no one know he could do that?
I don't remember if I ever got.
You did know that he could do that.
Okay.
Yeah. He just hasn't done it before. It's never actually happened.
Oh, good. So we don't have to go on some crazy rescue to. All right, he's fine. All right.
Maybe.
He's just where
I'm not too sure. I wish he would have taken like a whisper stone with him before he zoomed off.
Does he still have the one that was attuned to you?
No.
They got it.
Denki, by the way, is like grabs Birdie.
He's fine, I'm sure. He went to investigate, so I'm sure he's fine.
Has the
If
creature
anything-
just not moved at all this whole time?
No,
Yeah, what has the creature
after this, after the bolt goes by, clearly not aimed at her. She kind of you see the kind of the stringy bits that are connected to her kind of go tight, and she kind of lifts off the ground by like a foot. She begins kind of swinging gently, and Birdie, make a perception check, and Fizbin.
Angler fish stuff.
15.
15. Okay.
Yeah.
20.
Okay, Fizbin, you note that it looks like her mouth's moving.
Does it look like she's actually saying something, or is it just like "ma ma ma"?
Yeah, that's a good question. Does it look like she's just saying something,
Or singing.
It does look like she's trying to say it. She's saying something, but you can't see it. You can't hear exactly what.
Just speak up.
do the faces that are in the bubbly thing, are they also moving their mouths as well, or no?
What other hiding spots, or what other things in this room? Is this just a consolidated room? There's no other outlet that I can see.
There are no, not really. They're
Okay, so it's-
mostly just like stone wall.
And the bubbly creature, what is it attached to? Just the ceiling?
Yes, on a
Okay.
mosaic, which has long been destroyed, kind of faded out and crumbled, which
Gotcha.
implies potential acidic nature of the ooze.
Assuming it caused the damage, but yeah. Well, it's not attacking us after we've thrown arrows at it and talked to it.
You want to try to start moving in the room a little bit? Because we're going to have to get over there now.
I'm gonna open the door a little bit more.
Okay.
You
It's
said
very heavy.
in Elvish.
I have a
Just-
21 strength, so I had to make a strength
E-
check.
no, even for you, it's very heavy, but you do.
Good.
You do. What's that, Birdie?
In Elvish, I'm gonna say, okay, I hope you don't mind. We're going to come in. Thank you. Are you okay? Do you need help?
What are you telling it?
I'm gonna translate like briefly, like da 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 da. You know.
As you guys
Oh.
walk into the room, she kind of comes back down onto the ground.
I'm gonna pull Whisper out,
Okay.
and I'm just gonna be like, say, hey,
What?
Whisper, do you speak giant?
Yes. Yeah, probably.
Oh.
I was made by giants, so like. Yeah? Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's say yeah.
Could you tell me? Could you translate some words for me to say?
What do you want to say?
How about please do not fear me. I come in peace.
Yeah.
It feeds you a string of words.
All right. Well, with that, I will. With that, I guess I'll use my acting ability
Okay.
to recite that back to the giant outside or still out of his eye line.
Mm-hmm. So you split off a string of a sentence, and outside of the eye line, and you hear him go, kind of looking around, and then looks confused. You hear the knife laughing.
What'd you say?
Oh, I had a feeling.
Whisper, you better buck up, otherwise I'm putting you in the next smelter I see.
Oh, okay. Actually, say this.
And gives you another sentence to say.
All right, and I recite that one while he's still doing that. I'm gonna be, what'd you say? Make me say the first time.
Are you saying this new sentence?
Yeah, I've already said the new sentence.
Giant stands up, starts looking around, lifting pieces of statue, and the sentence he wanted to say was, don't hurt me, kind of a thing.
Yeah, it's like, please do not fear me. I come in peace.
And
Okay.
He says come out of hiding. Also,
I will come out.
your mom
if
was
I-
apparently an orc
Okay.
or a troll. My giant's not great.
How do I say? I'll come out if I can be guaranteed safety.
Whisper feeds you the line.
And recite it back.
The giant rumbles something in return.
He says, yeah. He says you can come out and you'll be okay.
All right. So I'm gonna come out. Whisper back in the satchel, but still holding on to it to be able to speak with it.
Mm-hmm.
But out of eye line from him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna come out very a hand up. It's like, I'm here.
Do you speak common?
Oh, good. And I'm gonna let go of that whisper immediately. Yes.
You hear.
Aw.
I do speak common. Oh. How you doing?
You don't look like an orc. Or a troll.
Would be great to be able to hear you.
You don't look like an orc or a troll.
I am neither. I'm actually a tiefling.
Why are you here?
Actually, it's to help you.
Help me.
Yes. And I'm gonna kind of try to give him a quick unabridged or abridged version of like our understanding about their trials and tribulations and descent into the downtrodden of what we know with the natives of this island and their imprisonment.
You would help the giants.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, mainly because you were one of the first onto this island to begin with. I don't see why you shouldn't have at least some kind of ownership back to it.
What's in it for you? Altruistic reasons aside.
A mutual truce of cohabitation?
Oh, you must be those newcomers.
That we are.
Interesting.
He's gonna kind of. And you note that he's actually limping, and leaving like a blood trail behind him. He gets a few steps towards you and then kind of goes. And he's gonna kind of just kneel down.
Alright, so let's be frank then. I can't afford to pass on this opportunity. I don't believe you. I don't think anyone who isn't of my kind is capable of altruism. But regardless of what you're getting out of this, I am in need of assistance.
I can see that. Do you
Also,
know what
Taylor
that
has
thing is out
inspiration.
Did you kill my queen?
No, wait, what does your queen look like?
Gooey.
Okay, no, they're very quite still alive right now, but we're trying to figure out what's going on out there. And why are you locked in here?
By the Oni mutated brethren. I will not be one of them.
So it was mutated.
Twisted.
Yeah. Do you know any way to break that mutation?
Well, no. It warps their soul.
Well, right now, we need to get this door open so I can relay this back to my group, who is probably at this moment trying to communicate with your queen.
I cannot be taken by the Oni.
And we'll make sure that that does not happen.
Roll persuasion, my guy. While he's doing that,
24.
who's approaching the ooze?
I think we all were walking in, right?
The only one who hasn't specified is Thranduin.
Yeah, I'm going.
Okay, so the four of you kind of, and Denki.
Question is, what is Green doing?
Green is staying by the door. As the party kind of goes in, he kind of goes up to the door and kind of watches.
What way is he leaning on it so we can shut the door behind us, or is he?
Make an insight check. It's a good thought.
Yeah.
That's a 20 plus whatever my insight is.
It does look like he's weighing his options. He is terrified of the mind spike, but he also obviously wants success in his mission more than he cares about his life. But he's not taking any action right out the gate. He's just kind of like weighing his options.
I could stay with him if you want me to. And I just primal savagery my claws.
Sure.
Okay.
I don't know if the magic will reseal and lock the door like it did last night if it shuts.
Yeah, I'll just transform into something really big in the way of the door if he tries to close it. And look at Green.
Cool.
Okay. Fizbin and Brittany, you are the first to get within reach, within range of this gentle, soft voice that almost sounds like I don't want to say like a brackish, muddy water in a river, but like it definitely has this kind of drooling, bubbling, watery voice. But it is whispering in Elvish.
Saying what?
Why are you here?
I'll be translating.
You are not one of those mutated of my master.
Oh, is your master the one that's beyond that door? The giant?
Said too much.
No, it's okay. It's
We
okay.
already knew he was here.
Yeah, we knew.
We're here
You
to
didn't
help.
you didn't reveal anything. Don't worry. You're good. Yeah, no, we're not one of the others. We want to actually assist your master and help him.
Why? And she's gonna kind of float towards you a bit. You can see little shards of a skull within the head. Kind of a glossy skin that forms the face.
He steps forward, and so will like Fizbin to kind of edge himself in front of Rudy a little bit.
Okay.
No idea what's happening right now.
But she's translating.
Fair enough. Still doesn't mean I trust the thing.
Yeah.
We actually have heard that a lot of his people are being treated wrong, and we want to help wherever we can.
They are being treated quite wrong. He saved me, this one, my master.
Oh, saved you from
Insight
what?
check? Question mark.
Go ahead and make that insight check at disadvantage because it's being translated. Go ahead, Brittany.
I make the inside check because I also speak Elvish. And
Then yes, absolutely.
14.
Yeah, at this point, Thranduin would definitely have come up and is joined into the conversation. Are you, Tara, staying by the door?
I'm gonna be like right in the crack of the door, keeping my eye on Green and keeping an eye on that too, and just ready with the thorns just in case.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Where did your master save you from? What danger were you in?
I don't rightfully remember, but I remember there was a lot of fire, liquid fire. And there were snake folk, and they were trying to kill me. This was a long time ago. I don't
have you
remember
just-
easily past 200 years.
Wow. That's a good memory, though.
I keep memories. My memories. Others' memories. I put them up there.
Is that where the faces are? Oh gosh.
I keep memories for my master.
Oh.
For his
What is your
craft.
master? For his craft? What's its craft?
Runes. As the stone giants began dying off, they gave me their memories.
Oh, that's a good
That
way
the
to
work might
keep
continue.
legends alive.
That the work might continue. This island is not from this place. It
Oh,
is from my
really?
master's lands. And so he cannot go and find more of his kind to learn from them. And so he went looking for someone like me.
Wow.
And he is endangered.
Oh.
From people like him. Pointing at Green. Who no longer remember their craft now, too. I am the last to stand in the way of the master. What'd you get on that insight check, Jake and George?
13.
14.
Okay. It's believable. It's believable. Let's jump over to Otto. What'd you get on that persuasion?
I got a 24.
Okay.
Let's see if we can get out together.
All right.
If my queen has been harmed in any way, I will be frothing mad.
That's a fair, understandable reason to get frothable. Frothed.
He makes effort to stand up, and you can see that he's actually got like tools and packs all just draped everywhere, caked in blood, and he kind of limps his way back towards the throne, reaches around behind it, and pulls out this huge backpack and kind of puts it on, and you see him not buckling under its weight, but he's in rough shape. He goes over and starts unbarring the door. The party hears this, and the ooze kind of turns around, you know, and watches, and kind of floats forward, and eventually the door kind of And he kind of watches the party, and then eventually his eyes lock on Green. And then looks over at Otto in a did you betray me kind of a, did you lie to me kind of a face. Green, and this is gonna be is going to try to grab Terra and make a run for it, but first he's got to succeed in grabbing her, which is
From
a
where I'm at,
contested
can I see this?
grapple check. You are yeah. If anyone has a passive perception higher than 12, I'll allow them to notice this. And she is 230-ish feet away from you. Contested grapple check. My strength versus your athletics and or acrobatics.
Okay.
Taylor, weren't you holding an action for if he made a move though?
I was holding like primal savagery for him, but I was holding I was also thinking of thorns for her, so I don't know. I was ready on both accounts, so I don't know what would constitute. I was also ready to turn into a giant animal to block the door in case he tried to close it.
But
so
if I remember correctly, you held your action specifically
Yeah.
for the thorns.
I held it specifically for the thorns.
Okay.
But it's okay. If he grabs me this turn, I'll just turn into a giant horse. He's not gonna be able to hold on to me. It'll be fine.
What you
That
got?
said, if I can see that, I'm
We'll also
Beat a-
activate the
beat a
Gaius damage, yes?
7.
Beat a 7.
Yeah.
I rolled a 1.
Yeah.
What's his modifier, though? I don't know.
It's not 7.
but we see him go lunge for
Yeah, you saw him. So you watch as he makes the grab, fails as she kind of weaves, and he's gonna turn, and I assume take the damage from the mind spike, and go to
While
turn
that's
and
happening,
run.
I'm just gonna look at I'm gonna look at the rock giant and go like, trust me, we're on your side, and I'm gonna immediately go back to my second dart.
Your second,
just
you
gonna-
dropped one, right?
Remember, I shot one right in the
Yeah.
middle of the party outside of the gate,
That's right. Yep.
and then I shot the one into the thing. I'm gonna go right back to that. And how far away would I be from him
You'd be right
at
next to him.
that point? Then I'm gonna just do a sneak attack rapier right on him at
Okay,
that point.
just a second. He needs to take the mind spike damage.
Okay.
And then we would roll for initiative after that.
Okay, cool.
Okay, I was gonna say, do I get an opportunity attack, or because I dodged, I guess that would be a reaction. So I wouldn't be able to.
Correct.
Okay.
It's just 18 psychic damage.
18 psychic damage.
Nice.
He's hurting.
I didn't roll great.
Nice. He's
Otto,
looking
is
kind
that
of
an
rough too.
action? Is that an action to boop to your arrow?
To boop to the arrow? No, I don't think.
I think it's a
is.
bonus action.
It's a bonus action.
Because you mentioned that all of us who notice, do we get
What's your passive perception?
14? You said
Then
12.
yes, go ahead.
I'm gonna Eldritch Blast him.
Cool.
Nice.
I will threaten him. Stay where you are, face a rat!
You done?
27
Nope.
for the first roll,
27.
and oh my gosh, 27 for the second. Holy crap.
Oh, that's a hit. Oh, sorry. I
Yeah.
assumed it was damage.
No, I just did both at the same time, so the roll.
I did too. I was like, oh my gosh, he's probably dead.
Oof.
Blast
doing him a
22
smack.
damage.
22 damage from the mind spike.
But 19 damage.
19 damage.
No, it was 18 damage with the mind spike.
Okay. All right, and the second bolt.
No, both of them together was 19 damage.
Okay, thank you. Okay, yeah, he's dead. He made a desperate attempt and just, and then Otto, you're gonna step out and you're gonna stab him. Roll, add your sneak attack damage. I'm sorry, he's probably dead, assuming he doesn't roll a crit fail.
That stabby. Gonna stab him in his butt. That's a 25.
That hits.
Yeah, that definitely hits. So that's gonna be 7 damage on just the attack.
Yeah, he's dead.
Oh, okay. Well,
Go ahead and
15
how would you
on
like
that,
to do that?
Oh, I am straight up taking his head off.
Okay.
Like,
All right.
so I'm just gonna run up his back and just clean swipe decapitate him.
All right. You hear.
Idiot. Tara says.
All right, the pickle's dead.
I'm pickle green.
Funny how I was trying to act all tough the entire time, and we just trash him in 2 seconds.
I told him I was gonna rip his throat out, and that's just me. There's so many more.
Yeah,
than
so you
just
guys
me.
brought him back, and then he didn't get a long rest. He's been low and kind of trying to. He's been taking a lot of damage over time.
He also fought the
The dude inside.
Yeah.
dude inside. He's
Yeah.
been doing stuff.
He's been doing stuff. It was a last ditch attempt to get out of there with the information he now knew. Bless you. Blessings don't stack though, so you only get the one.
I know.
And
Have you never heard of blessings squared, Jeffrey?
don't you Jeffrey me?
Jeffrey.
Did.
Don't you? Ugh.
Jeffrey.
Gross.
Just.
All right, Jacob.
I don't have an issue with it like you have with your name. So.
I reserve it. I hold it in high regard. I don't have an issue with it.
Like Jacoby?
Anyway,
Dang.
huh?
Gotta be Jacoby. I think it'd be cool. Just a Y at the end, just added randomly.
Jacoby? Jacobus?
Jacoby.
I mean, my aunt used to call me Jacoby.
Jacoby. Jacob.
That's forever your name.
So,
That's fine.
the ooze reunites with the giant.
Aw.
Does she just ignore everything else and is like, my master?
Pretty
Like,
much.
does
And he
not
goes-
care.
And he calls her his queen. And they do like a.
While that's going on and I'm walking back to the party, can I just like call out to Brady and just be like, by the way, he needs some healing. Could you help him out?
Yeah, Brady's eyes were kind of lingering on the now severed Green's head a little sadly, but she will like turn away and go and she'll cast Cure Wounds
Thank you for the
on
follow, Horde Stalker.
we'll do it on first level.
Will the queen allow us to touch the giant?
Oh, that's a good point.
So you gotta go up and approach, and as you,
I'm
so
gonna
you
approach,
go up and
yeah.
approach, and it seems like she's giving him back his memories of how to, of his craftsmanship, that he kind of stashed away in case he was taken, and he kind of looks over at you and goes,
Hello.
kind of kneels down.
My name is Skiop.
Skiop. Skeop. Skiop.
Yeah.
It's only one letter away from T. I just want to throw it out there.
And you, what do you do?
Hello, my name is Brady. Would you like me to heal you?
He kind of looks over at the ooze, who kind of just.
That would be a great relief.
Okay then. So yeah,
Yeah, consent, please.
oh, it didn't. Why didn't? Okay, that. 7 heal points back.
Okay, 7 hit points.
Yeah, how's he
Okay.
looking now?
Still rough. Still pretty rough. He's been.
Okay.
It seems like he's been harried for days. by Oni, and so he kind of he appreciates it though, and he kind of gives you a head nod and stands up a little straighter, with the ooze just kind of on top of his on one of his shoulders. Go ahead, Tara.
I can help too if you want. I can also cast Cure Wounds.
That would be appreciated.
Sure.
All healed up.
Okay.
Depends on how much
I
healing.
Clicked it on D&D Beyond and it did something weird. It said like
Okay.
19, but I'm gonna roll dice. I don't know what that was. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 more.
13 more. All right.
Yes.
Thank you. Again, I am Skiop.
He kind of takes a little bow.
Hi, I'm Tara.
Offer some water.
He's gonna take it, drinks it.
Brady curtsies.
Oh yeah, I also have a healing potion that it can have.
You just had healing potion this whole time.
Well, I'm pretty sure all of us
It's
have
good
some
for
healing
moments
potions.
of. It's good for the rogue who kind of sometimes goes off in solo situations to have a healing potion.
Yeah,
but
like,
he
I
is
mean,
gonna
this
take
could
it
have-
and just be like.
I wasn't gonna ask. I was gonna ask earlier, but then I was like, nah, no, he's got this.
I mean, I've got 4 of them, so.
Yeah. He kind of just. It's small in his hands, just. All right, we're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be back.
Okay.
We'll be right back, friends. We return.
Oh.
Okay. What was that, Pillow?
Hmm?
Hmm?
I did say anything.
Okay. So, the threat of the Oni are still there, but not immediate. You have secured the giant. What's the move?
Great. I mean, this was kind of what we came here for. By the way, Thranny, it's like a bigger version of you in the fluff.
Oh yeah. That's hilarious.
By the way, what is your name looking at the queen? Does the queen have a name?
She has to kind of go up to you so that you can hear her. My name is Lady Aravosa.
She only speak Elvish?
Yes.
Translate the name. It's very nice to meet you.
Oh, it's great to meet you as well. She has an almost Victorian vibe.
Oh, do you have any ideas on what we could do to help your situation and your peoples and the giants?
We need to go back to the Phalanx. The fire giant. She is powerful and she needs my help. And I am certain that she would accept the help of anyone who isn't native.
I'm sorry. I thought. Let me get this straight. First, there were only hill giants left, and now there's a stone giant, and now you're telling me there are fire giants. I thought they all were extinct.
We, for the most part, are. There are 5 stone giants left, artisans. The fire giant, she is the last of her kind. And the hill giants were not around. The hill giants are not incredibly intelligent. And they were not in the city when people started being slain by Gent. It was catastrophic.
Oh yeah, they don't like Gent.
Gent slew my people wholesale.
I'm just gonna do that real quick.
We need to go to
tattoo is
her.
in fact covered by his armor.
She has hopefully a plan.
Toki.
Great. So how do we get to him?
We walk.
Let's go.
Just a thought. We did have some armor being made back home. Did any of us want to go there
think it's
first?
been that long, has it? How many days has it been since we commissioned it?
Probably been 4 days, maybe 5, almost a week.
Did they say how long they needed?
They didn't. They said they would
Did
try
we
to.
s-
They said they would try to have it ready for you by the time you got back.
So we should probably go help the giants first.
Yeah,
Yeah, we can.
I think we gotta do a fire first, and then whatever her plan is, we'll say, cool, we're gonna start that plan in like 5 days, and we'll go back, and then we'll start the plan.
Okay.
Just to check, did we say that Brady was attuned to a transportation circle thing there in town?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a teleportation circle that you have access to, that the council has.
Okay.
Any chance we're gonna go by where we stored up the spackles?
They were right outside this place, right?
Yep,
Right
by the
outside
open
the
gate.
building.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, good. We haven't lost the spackles. Excellent.
Hopefully.
Hopefully,
That's
the
one of my
red
backpacks.
dragon-
Thank you very much.
Oh yeah. Just be careful. There's a red dragon outside.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Woo!
Yes. The dragons followed us.
Oh.
There are also scary wolf things. So
Well, was.
was we handled
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, but we still have to think about the invisible Onis.
The ambush Onis.
Oh, yeah.
And they're ambush Zambonis.
Good eye out for them.
So
So we go.
we go.
Okay. The front door of this keep, of this castle, is the other door in this room. And he begins unbarring it. And he kind of cracks open the door and kind of looks out.
I don't see anyone. But that doesn't mean they aren't watching.
We're worried about the Oni, right? That's who we know is here.
There for him, yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to cast Pass Without Trace on myself, Skiop. We're not bringing Lady Aravosa with us, right? Just Skiop?
Lady
On her
Aravosa
shoulders.
is like on the giant.
On the chat. Perfect. I don't know if that counts for how many can I do? Veil shadow. So any creature within 30 feet of me, so I'll try and stand pretty where it can encompass
Pretty
a lot
centered.
of us.
Okay.
Yeah, and cast Pass Without Trace so we can hopefully sneak a little bit better.
Okay. You cast Pass Without Trace. Give me just a second. I know my alphabet. There we go. All right. Do you guys want to backtrack through the castle, or you guys want to go out the front door?
Where are the Spackles are right next to us, right? Or near us?
So they're outside the city, but going out the front door would be on that highway back.
Okay.
We left them right outside of that
Yeah.
ramp to jump into it. Up in the window of this building, right?
Oh, that is right. Thank
Yeah.
you. So if you guys want to, you guys can go out the front door and around the
Probably
building, or you
skirt
can
around.
skirt back through the building.
Better to keep the party as one, and we don't want Ski Up running off by himself, knowing that there could be some invisible foes.
And he's not fully healed. That said, the whole castle is made for giants. He would be able to move throughout with you. Although I see your point, he might not be able to go through the window.
I say just go
I
through the
say
front
go
door and
around.
walk around. Like,
Yeah.
there's no reason to.
Okay.
There's too many corners and hidden rooms inside for them to ambush us through hallways and stuff like that.
Okay.
I feel like keeping the solid wall to our left as we go around, whichever way to go,
Okay.
is better.
The party kind of tentatively steps out into the open courtyard, kind of looking about. You're not immediately set upon by enemies, which is saying something. Slowly begins making your way back around to the horses. And while Skiop is not at full health, he is not leaving a blood trail anymore, which is good.
I'm gonna very quietly whisper because passed out Trace hides sounds pretty well. Do you need more healing? Yeah. Okay. How much more? Okay.
I'm picturing a giant trying to step quietly through a ruined city. A wounded giant.
Okay, how about 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 22, 1, 22. 22 more!
You see
How's he
him
look now?
with a bit of a vicious smile, and he gives you a big head pat. He's looking a lot better. He's not at full health yet, but he is looking significantly better.
You just tell me if you need more of those, cause I got a handful.
He kind of nods, trying to be quiet.
Birdie's gonna go ahead and do a healing word.
Okay.
As well.
Roll for the health.
You can't regenerate like the other giant that we were hanging out with.
No, you can't. Not like the other one was. 8. All right, he gets 8 back. Very good. He's looking pretty good now. He's looking pretty good. The party makes it to the Spackles.
Yes.
The horses are still there.
Yay.
Did not want to walk this whole time, so.
I think we're still gonna have to because of the giant, though, right? He can't get on the horse.
He can walk. Fine.
He's got
What's a
long
giant
strides.
speed?
Yeah.
Not saying we sprint there. I'm just saying,
I don't know, I'm just curious.
now I don't have to walk.
A stone giant's movement speed. Oh, it's 40 feet. Yeah. So, oops. There we go. 40 feet. So, I mean, he's got long strides, but you'll outpace him if you start, galloping.
How much does he weigh?
A lot.
A little bit more than a Spackle.
He's a huge sized creature.
Okay. Over 1,200 pounds?
Easily.
Okay. Never mind then.
You were gonna
Okay.
try to become a Spackle, weren't you?
I can. My giant Spackle can carry up to 1,200. That's why I was able to carry everyone else.
Unless we, there's also the option of me polymorphing him into something else, right?
I mean, yeah, but like,
I think we'll be okay.
Yeah.
We'll be fine. We'll just
We'll
go at
make
a
our way.
steady pace.
Well, that's just something to think if we need to sneak him through anywhere, because
That's
he's
true. If we need
very
to go somewhere
big.
small. Yeah.
But you also got to remember.
We need to sneak. I'll just cast invisibility on him.
There you go. Heck yeah.
Come on, guys, I want to use polymorph. Let me use the dang spell.
I mean, yeah, we can do that too.
Thranduin and Crichton, Thranduin and Fizbin are just sitting in the back like, what's going on? We got spells, we can do things, and they're just taking care of it.
The party begins.
We're doing
making-
paladin stuff is what we're doing.
great.
We're doing paladin stuff
Yes,
right
we're
now.
doing
okay?
paladin stuff.
Speaking of the nature of deific essence and the like, the party begins making their slow, careful way out of the city. And as you get to the gate, you hear somewhere within the city this kind of lilting tune, and it goes like this.
Lock the door, blow out the light. The hungry Oni haunts the night. Hide and tremble, little one. The Oni want to have fun. Hear it scratching on the door. See its shadow cross the floor. The sun won't rise for quite a while. Till then, beware the Onis smile.
Kind of echoes off the city, the empty ruin. You watch Skiop, the stone giant, kind of just PTSD style, like start just pulling his coat over himself and looking around. The mutated and taken brethren of his people are hunting him.
Bradee's gonna put a gentle hand, which he probably won't feel if it's too gentle, but just kind of gently like tap him and like rub his arm, kind of give him a look like, we're here with you. You're not alone now.
I love that instinct because Tara was also going to tap him and be like, you're not that little. It's okay.
It's on them on either side. Just like, it's okay.
Head pats. Thank you for the resub. What's up, Razor? How it do?
So
How it be?
we
How
hear
it
this
is?
So we hear this from the Onis off of the echo chamber style.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw it back at him.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm just gonna.
With
gonna give
thaumaturgy?
it- Yeah. Well, thaumaturgy and acting, so I'm just gonna do their voice back at him.
Okay.
I farted, it tickled, my butt cheek jiggled, so I did it again.
Yeah, it's not so intimidating now, is it?
That will certainly teach them.
Oh. I just got inspiration. All right.
Hey.
Excellent.
I'm glad that my song gave you inspiration.
They're all like, catchy tune. Let's go. Booty jiggle. Let's go. All right. Okay. All right. So the sun begins setting as you make your way into the forest proper. Thankfully, you have a druid with you who is very familiar with this area, and a crowl named Otto. And between the two of those, you begin making quick travel through the forest. At Skiop's direction, you begin moving through you begin moving southeast. After a couple hours, are you guys going to continue? You going to get a rest? I think everyone's pretty juiced after that long rest and no combat.
Yeah, I didn't lose anything.
How much more do we gotta travel? Because I might be not tired, but also it's nighttime, should sleep.
We have to discuss this. The that I fled to this region is likely not an option. It is called the Pass. The center of the island has a large mountain range, and in the north of this divide is a very large, giant-made pass. I was able to flee through it, but I doubt I'll be able to go back through it without some fight.
So what's another option that we have then?
An arguably more dangerous cave.
So we have a somewhat knowledgeable trek the way that you came, or a unknown cave that we would have to excavate.
Excuse me.
From your memory, for the path that you took, I'm not the biggest fan of passes because they're, you in the middle of a crack, you can have people attack from above. Is there a possibility that we hike up along the mountains and stay on the outside of the pass, but keep it in eyesight to follow it, avoiding a good amount of the combat? It might be a lot more mountain climbing, but it will ultimately be safer than a cave or going down the easy path.
I'm willing to give it a try if you are.
Are we concerned about the dragons? Are they near that area?
He kind of chews on it.
It is possible we would be discovered by dragons. This would be quite north.
Can I please... What is the spell I'm looking for? It starts with a D. Divination. I would like to give an offering to the Storm Father and ask which path we should take.
Okay. So what's that look like?
What did I use last time?
Or that broken stained glass from
That's
the
right.
palace. So she's probably stocked up a couple for her components.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's what I did. Yeah. So I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna make a little shrine over to the storm god, and I'm gonna pull out some of my incense that I bought before in town, and I'm gonna light it. And I'm gonna let the smoke raise, and you just see the glass will start to dissolve and go up into the smoke.
Okay.
And my eyes will kind of glaze over, and I'll be, Stormfather, we have come to a path that we can take either a pass or go through a cave. Both treacherous, both dangerous. Which is the option that will get us all to our goal alive?
You have a vision. You see a great pass, almost perfectly cut through the mountain range, and is being struck by lightning multiple times aggressively. You suddenly see a cave, and it's full of evil whispers and scraping noises, and then loud thunder and concussive blasts. And then you see a small, narrow stair, long destroyed, just barely climbable, and there is a cool breeze passing over it.
I will relay that to the group.
All right, so it sounds like the path is the way with the lightning bolts and the Stormfather and all that. Yes, yes. Everyone else.
Go ahead and make a religion check. Fizbin. I just now realized you were trolling me. So you don't have to make a religion check.
What? No, listen. My character is all about the Stormfather, and he saw lightning bolts. It was like, yeah, that's clearly the Stormfather blasting our enemies out of the way as we walk through.
I was like, oh, lightning. That's me and Fizbin. We're lightning up the pit.
Yeah. But if you do want a religion, I got a 23.
Okay. The Stormfather is saying that the safest and least combative path is the high place that you can attempt to go up and around on the pass.
All right.
Well, we can do that, but can the giant fit?
Yes.
It's
a matter of you guys are almost too small.
Got it.
That's
I heard small.
You can polymorph us.
Yeah.
Yes, I can.
So it's more treacherous for us?
You still got effects on, my guy.
Why is that on?
Why was that on? That's not supposed to be
on. It's not that it's treacherous, it's that it is huge. The steps are large.
It's gonna take a while.
Yeah.
So it's not so it's treacherous. It's just
each step.
Okay.
Yeah. We have our.
We can just ride on
Here
the
we
giant's
go.
back. No.
I got these horses.
Or
Respect.
one of us can.
We'll figure it out. We'll be fine.
Here's what I'm thinking. It's like, all right, how about you guys and the Spackles head into our little rune prison.
There it is.
One person jumps on his back, and then we can all, or whoever the one that can fly up there, maybe with a bit of ease, can get us up there.
I can fly. Also, option.
Who all can fly?
Me.
Because I can also fly or make someone else fly.
I can teleport, but I don't want to use them.
And Birdie can fly technically with polymorph. Also, you're 6 foot something, you're 6 foot something, you're 6 foot something. If the stairs are that tall, you guys can still probably. Are they really gonna be?
Oh, they'll be climbing. They'll be like hoisting themselves up on ledges.
I can just cast fly on Giant Boy, and he can just carry all of us up.
That
That's
sounds fun.
terrifying. I love it.
Let's do that.
All right.
Any option that's not putting us in a
just
cave
medium-sized
or a
creatures.
space like that.
But you guys have to also remember we have Spackles.
You got the dungeon?
Yeah, Spackles can go in the dungeon easy.
We'll shove the Spackles into the dungeon.
Just tell the undead guy that they're his new pets for a little bit. He'll take real good care of them.
Oh, he'll really like us taking those back.
That's okay. We can just kill him and he'll come back the next time.
He'll catch on eventually.
Killing just to.
Every time he has seen us, it has ended with his death.
Is it really death if he just comes back?
We're gonna go in there, and he's gonna be in one of the cages for his own safety.
Just signing yourself in down there.
Like, you know what?
in a cage.
Do whatever the hell you want. Just leave me out of it.
So yeah, it sounds like we have our heading.
Okay. So
Here we go.
as you guys prepare, Otto, you opening up the Drogar's dainty dungeon or whatever it was called.
Yeah, we'll put them in the little dainty dungeon and just shove those Spackles right down there.
All right, you open it up and you hear, "Hello!"
Hello, take care of these, and I'm just gonna shove the Spackles and close it up.
I kill them, but take care of them. It's not good. Okay.
Well, we'll find out.
Okay.
Can Fizbin go in and hang out with the horses
Yeah,
for
you
a
can
while?
go in and hang out with the horses.
I want to make sure that the undead doesn't eat our creatures.
So you're staying in there. Anybody else want down?
Not a chance.
This is just
Okay.
traveling. Just open the door when you're ready.
Great. So pick
It's
up
like
the
hopping
runes
in the
after-
tour bus.
get all them.
I'm 70 years old, man. I don't want this walking thing. Just call me when you're done. Good night.
I know, we saw your bedroom on the ship. Don't worry, we know Fizbin.
So the rest of us are just hanging on to ski up?
Well, we have to get to the pass.
Yeah, we have
first.
to get there.
Oh, well, that's fine.
So bring the horses back out. No. Just kidding.
I thought we were already there. That's why I was.
No,
No,
you're
we
good.
were deciding.
You were
the
talking
path.
options.
Oh, yeah. Well, obviously that's the path that I'm choosing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, the party begins heading straight east. 2 days pass, and on the third, go ahead, Brittany.
I've been wanting to have some time to ask Skiop if he would start teaching Brady Giant.
Oh yeah, I also want to look for dandelion as we're going.
Aren't you still learning Dwarvish?
You said that I could hold
you
a
learn it?
conversation.
You can
yeah.
hold a conversation. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I know I marked it down as soon as you said I could.
Roll persuasion.
Please, Mr. Giant Man.
Guidance.
Guidance. How much do I add to the guidance?
D4.
Oh gosh, math. Wait, hang on. Hang on, this is important to me. 29.
Oh God. Okay. Yeah. Okay. He is happy to teach you, Giant. Okay. On the third day of travel, Thranduin, through Otto the Crowl, becomes aware of a scouting party, Vanguard of the Hunt. And unless you want to take an additional day to kind of go around them, because they're spread out, you will cross paths with them. They're roughly they're just.
Remind me what the Vanguard of the Hunt is.
So they work for Dragon's End. One of the council members is in charge of kind of scouting everything out. Otto and Terra did offer their help. They are friendlies, but Green also was supposedly one of the members of the Vanguard of the Hunt.
Oh, that's true. Remember, there was that group that we could have interacted with but chose not to, and he said, it made it seem like that was his group that we had passed.
Question.
What's up?
All the Vanguard of the Hunt are supposed to be people from the Endeavor, correct?
Well, they're from Dragon's End, so yes.
Can I wild shape into a small local bird?
Okay.
And fly ahead of the group and go smell one of them?
Sure.
Do they smell like it? I'll be like, oh my god!
Okay.
So you kind of come into the clearing.
That weird smell.
You kind of come into the clearing, and you don't know where all the other ones are, but two of them are starting a campfire. You can see some tents kind of hung up in some trees. And one is kind of whittling down a new bow, and he's got a brace on his leg. The other one is adding fire, and he's got a kind of a pig-like creature that he's slow roasting. And they seem to be not talking to each other, but kind of whenever they make a noise, and one person is on the scan and then grunts and goes back to what he's doing, and the other person will look up and kind of on the scan and then grunts, and then goes back to what they're doing, kind of taking turns on watch, if you will.
Okay.
You kind of perch on the tree and you kind of see this.
I'm gonna kind of make my way down, be close enough to like get to them. I'm just gonna be like a little bird in the grass. I'm like picking for bugs or whatever.
The
See if I can
one.
get close enough.
Okay, yeah. The one who is on the spit sees you, notes that you're not a Crowl, so isn't immediately in like fight mode, and slowly reaches and grabs his bow with a very hungry, look, and he's gonna. Hey, what?
I'm a very small bird. I am not an edible bird. I am like the tiny little things that fly around.
Okay.
There would be no meat on me.
That's just
I'm like
how
a
desperate he is.
I'm like a sparrow. They got a pig.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
Or the other guy's gonna be like, "Don't be stupid." No.
The other one,
Arrow
the first one does go, there's hardly any meat on it. There's hardly any meat on the thing. And he goes, stew. And
Oh, no.
I bet I can hit it. You can't hit that.
Oh,
Oh, I think I can.
no.
I think I can.
Oh no.
2 silver says I can. Alright. He's gonna.
I'm out of there.
Okay, you. Go ahead and make a nature check to see if you caught a whiff.
Okay.
Come on.
Good thing I'm really good at nature.
Almost
fly in their
got
faces, they're
eaten
gonna
for
freak
this.
out. Smell them all they want.
I would have just become myself if he hit me.
Oh.
Oh no.
Ow.
Freaked him out.
I'll try explaining that one later.
Got him.
24.
24.
Yeah.
So you know that the people of the Endeavor do not have a smell.
Right.
And this aligns with that. They don't have that smell.
Yeah, I remember you told me green had like a different underlying smell that I couldn't place, and so my brain has linked that to them. So I'll fly back to the group and I'll just be like, they see him. They didn't smell like you guys don't smell. So they seem normal, but I only saw 2 of them, but they look injured and really hungry. So they may need assistance.
How many did I see with the Crowl?
You know that there are 8. There might be more outside of that mile range. Yeah. So you saw 2, but but with his basically mile
I know.
radius.
I'm
okay.
telling Jen.
Yeah. So Thranduin knows of 8. There might be more.
So I don't know about the other ones. I can go look if you want me to, but
We
There
can
is-
definitely take 8 because there's us and a giant.
Yeah.
And a mind memory eating
True.
Beautiful.
Queen slime. The toxic queen.
So how do you guys, Ski Up and Lady Aribosa, how do you guys feel about this? You guys okay with this?
They trust your judgment on the matter.
My take is if they're friendly, great, we can help out. And if we go there and they find out they're hostile, then we take out some hostiles in this list we have to worry about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we still make a shorter trip than having to go around them.
Yep, I say we should go.
Okay. So
Plus, if we deal with them, there's no chance they can double back and like.
do you
Yeah.
wanna Thranduin, you know where the 8 are. Do you want to head towards like a lone one, or do you want to go for the 2, where their camp is?
Which one's more direct to our path?
For your path would be the camp.
Just go to the camp.
Okay. The party okay, you guys spend a good chunk of time heading towards the camp. Eventually you do get near enough that you guys are going to want to start deciding how you want to approach the camp.
I think that some familiar faces should go ahead and pre-warn them that a giant is in our party and friendly.
Okay.
So maybe me and Brady.
Yeah. Hey, you guys normally look at me weird too, so.
Okay, the two of you enter the clearing. Quickly, one of the one who's now got his bow and he's doing other things to it to make it like bend proper and stuff like that. Treat the wood. He looks up and goes, "Hey, look, He doesn't have his bow up anymore. He goes, "It's the heroes of Dragon's End," and he's gonna get up and kind of limp over and kind of goes, "It's so good to see you here. Thank you
It's
for
great
coming."
to see familiar faces.
Aye. And he goes, "If you stay the night, you can have some of our pig, safety in numbers and all that. Please come sit." The other dude's he's very focused on the pig. He goes, keeps going.
Well, we actually have some others with us as well.
Right, come let him in.
Just to forewarn you, because it is very scary when you first see him, we do also have a friendly giant who also has a female elf, oozy looking woman. Trust me, they are friendly. We've been with them for quite a while now. They are helping us in our quest to help the giants.
They slowly kind of turn their heads towards each other, and the one with the bow goes, "You're burning the pig, Randy." Because he's just.
Don't burn the pig.
God, Randy.
Dang it, Randy.
Eventually, the party kind of comes into the clearing, and they're properly amazed.
Blessings of the storm, Father.
You know, just hero things. Nothing to be worried about.
You spend some time. Eventually, some of the other scouts come back in, and word kind of darts around. And aside from the one who has to keep lookout, everyone checks out.
Okay, just imagine Kara going up to everyone. "Hi, nice to meet you."
Yeah, nice to meet you.
There will be a TikTok that I post after this game.
But they're all just like,
it's
"Oh,
for
it's a
exactly
fawn lady."
this.
What? And they don't think anything of the smelling. They're just like, "Oh, it's just something she does."
I don't know. Fawns are
That's
weird,
just how she
bro.
greets.
I'm part deer, it's fine.
Satyrs, man. I don't know what to tell you. Are you guys staying long term, or are you guys gonna move onward? Are you gonna do the hospitality thing and kind of crash for the night? You gotta keep on moving.
Some
I
of them
don't
look
think it would
injured.
hurt. Yeah, we should maybe help them out.
Yeah, I think
They
we can
could-
stay and kind of heal them up and
Yeah.
Yeah.
you can long
Okay.
rest and go on.
Cool.
Yeah, I'll
You
exhaust
learn-
a good amount of healing spells.
Okay. Cool. You get a long rest. You're greatly appreciated. Otto is kind of bullied into eventually helping with some map stuff, and Brady is able to kind of get in there and help with some map stuff as well. And you do learn that the pass is in fact like fortified and held by a legit like martial force of natives.
Stormfather didn't mention that. No.
He just mentioned us murdering it.
And so the pass is closed to you, unless you guys want to get really, really tricky, which I would not put past you people.
How many levels we talking is what I'm saying.
After some songs in the night and a belly full of food, the giant having to take care of himself, he ends up coming back with like a deer and just and when he thinks no one's looking, he takes some dirt and sprinkles it on top of the deer and keeps going.
I have create food and water too, so like I can.
Then
Create
the
the feast.
then
Fancy
you
feast.
raise morale and your reputation grows back in Dragon's End, assuming these people make it back. And as morning comes, they all they all
Not foreboding at all from the DM.
give you a hearty wave, and a cheer goes up as you guys continue onwards.
So we got a long rest.
Yeah.
Yay.
Oh yeah. To make a long point somewhat shorter, the party crosses over into these mountains. Fizbin, with his old dragon bones, in Drogar's dungeon, little pocket dungeon. The rest of the party either being carried by the giant or managing to kind of fly or clamber over in some ways. You do get at one point a view of this pass, and 10 giants could walk down this pass shoulder to shoulder, and it would take them probably a good 3 or 4 hours to run down this pass.
Oh, wow.
But you don't see giants. You see natives. They are swarming. They have built wooden fortifications along the sides and bridges overhanging to shoot down from. And you take all that in, and as you continue onwards, you see their end of the pass, and to your horror, what looks like a standing army
That's not great.
of natives and giants and spackles and crowls, just hundreds of them over that army. And you make your way down the side of the mountain. You are in enemy territory now. Slowly you cut southward, keeping along the spine's edge. A couple of days pass. Quiet days. Not much is said. Thranduin keeping constant watch through his growl. Terra, these are not forests that you're familiar with. Eventually, the party stumbles upon a hill giant. And after some yelling, which is quickly shushed by the stone giant, it becomes clear that the hill giant is making his way with other hill giants towards a fortification. The giants have been called and are making some kind of final stand. There was a push, a desperate attempt from the fire giant and her forces to get to the pass, and it failed, which is probably why the standing army is there. Regardless, another day passes. You run into more hill giants. And soon there is a loud, bracing cacophony of grumbles and belly scratches and stumbling, and you guys come through a clearing, maybe 600 yards around. Up against the spine, the sheer walls and mountains, is a strange dome-like stone structure. A half orb. 2 floors, windows, 4 doors, north, south, east, west, and it's huge. In it are hundreds of hill giants, all kind of just busying about. You see them putting down stakes of sharpened tree logs on the outside, digging trenches outside the dome, and smoke kind of billowing out from the second floor. The party is quickly ushered inside. You guys are brought to the second floor, and there stands a fire giant. She tightly bound plated leathers, long plated skirt of leathers with a huge cloak, fire kind of licking the sides of her eyes. Her hair is just streaming down and licking flames. She seems to be just barking orders at these hill giants. 4 stone giants are all kind of huddled, kind of seated around her, kind of looking down, some of them tinkering with strange arcane objects. One of them looks up and goes,
Lady.
Nods towards the party. The fire giant, she turns around.
And Okay then.
She's gonna kind of squat down. She is enormous. She kind of looks at the stone giant, and in giant, of course.
And where did you get off to? I was hunted. It was not an easy time. I was not able to retrieve any useful information, and I would have died, taken and twisted into Oni. But I do know that that keep is empty. They do not know of it. And I would not have been able to bring you this information if it weren't for these adventurers.
He begins introducing you by name. Denki kind of just like seems like he feels small for the first time and he doesn't like it.
I'm just gonna like nudge him, just be like, now you know how we feel. You know?
Don't
like it.
Yeah, I know.
Assuming Brady might have like basic like starter phrases in giant, like very like one or two
You
phrases.
have hello, my name is yes, no, where's the bathroom? The the
Like
bare
nice
minimum.
to meet you or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
is the library.
any giant she met along the way too, she is like practicing her giant like as much as possible and getting any feedback to like get it toned as quick as possible to break those mistakes.
The mountain giants, the fire giants are very good. The hill giants sound like they're choking on marbles. Like it's very hard to understand what they're saying. But so you kind of what do you do?
Just say, as introduced, say it's very nice to meet you. Very simple. Since that's all she can do.
She responds in giant and
Thank you for saving Skiop.
Do I understand that?
You heard Skiop and thank you. The knife is translating for you. Eventually, she switches to a very rough common, very kind of basic common, which makes her seem less intelligent than she clearly is.
You seem powerful. We need help. We need to survive the coming attack. And we need to get through the pass. What can you do for me, and how can I pay you for your services? We would be in your debt for any assistance in the coming battle.
One of the things that we would definitely want to be able to talk to you with that debt is a possible alliance between us.
There are only so many of you. 5, 6?
There's quite a bit more at our headquarters.
You represent a wider group of individuals.
Yes, let us speak of that at length if we survive the night.
The attack tonight?
We don't know,
Okay.
but we're doing what we can. We fell back to here. We're doing what we can.
Okay.
What can you tell us about what the enemy has? What have you been up against?
He might be able to tell you best. Less of a language barrier.
And she kind of points over, and Brady, Otto, and Thranduin, to your astonishment, stands Crichton.
Hey.
He's currently in a chef's outfit right now. You see him just at 2 different fireplaces, just going to town, just doing some crazy flips and stuff. Just never seen that. He's not paying any attention whatsoever.
She barks. She barks to get his attention. And you see your old friend.
Hey! It's the auto without feathers.
And the auto with feathers.
I told you he existed.
There's a hill giant like. Clearly, you're
running over.
Yeah.
He's gonna run and like koala hug, like.
Oh, my heart.
Big hugs. He's looking really a lot dirtier than he used to.
Yeah.
But also a lot thicker.
He looks like he's been white knuckling it for months. He looks like he's been full on Rambo mode for a while. Last you knew about Crichton, he went off to train under Sovas.
Yeah. What are you doing here? I thought you were with that man, the magic man.
Oh, so that's a long story. For right now, how did you get here? I missed you so much. Come, take some food. I have been cooking for many
There's just
months.
this massive cauldron.
Did we know Crichton to cook before?
Yeah.
He cooked. Okay.
Almost every morning, like he was the only one cooking.
I'm just checking because if it's like randomly, like,
That's
look, I
right.
made a meal, might be a little skeptical if you weren't
This,
cooking
however,
prior.
this is way beyond what he used to do, though. It's almost like he took a feed-in chef or something. It's like it's kind of crazy how much he has evolved with his cooking.
So he's gained enough levels to get a feat?
Yes.
Okay.
Finally.
Okay.
Hey, Crichton, have you met Fizman?
There it is.
I was wondering how this was going to go down. I'd love to see it.
Fizman, before you stands a very large human who has this little spriggan of a creature kind of on one shoulder, no armor to speak of whatsoever, and incredibly powerfully built. Speaking with a burly Endeavor accent, clearly an ally to most of the party members. Tara doesn't seem to know him. Danky also seems to be very just like pats back real hard.
Fair enough. Well, Fizban's heard enough about him. You know, he has an understanding of who he was.
Seen
just
his
based on the
statue in
history.
Dragon's End.
Seen the statue and all that, so it wasn't hard to not recognize him.
Yeah, Fizban, Crichton, with Fizban. Discuss.
I asked him if he was up to the challenge.
Fizban literally like looks kind of down at the giant human because he's actually taller than Crichton. That's very nice to meet you. I got blessings be on the storm, Father. And Crichton's all, who is this storm father?
Oh no, don't get
Oh,
him
now
started.
that's
No.
that is a story I would be more than welcome to tell you all about him. He is my god, my savior. I'm sorry, you have a god, like a real god, like the giants do. Well, yes, there are many of them. I must discuss this with Fire Giant. I'll be right back.
You
Brittany's
approach the
still
fire
holding
It's like a
on.
very like
Okay,
it
yeah,
actually turned into like a weird like he got real serious real fast at the mention of God, and now he's got to go talk to the fire giant,
You
the queen about it, or whatever she is.
Do you want to do that, or do you want to do Fizban?
Crichton will leave the party to go
Okay,
talk to the
okay.
fire giant.
Brady is still holding on.
Okay.
Takes Brady with him, I guess.
Okay, bye. So that's Crichton. He's great.
You guys have told me some stories about him.
He's not a very bright young fellow, is he?
Oh no. No.
Terra, make an Arcana
But he's got a
check.
big heart.
It's in good company here with the Hell Giants.
Fair enough. I was going to question.
17.
17. There's an inconsistency in your in the stories that you know. He doesn't seem to have any druidic abilities.
Wait, so this is Crichton. This is the Crichton that I gave my druid stuff to?
He doesn't seem to have any druidic abilities.
I know. I'm saying this to the group. So people who are left.
Yeah.
So I guess it's just.
It matches the statue, I guess.
It looks like things didn't go very well with Sobas.
Oh.
What the heck?
Archdruid he was training at. I don't know.
I'm definitely gonna have to talk to him later. That's not the easiest gift to just give people.
You're just handing out druid levels at all.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
My dragonflies don't just go kiss anybody, but we'll talk to him about that later.
I actually thought that was Danky that did that. Isn't that what you all told me?
Got to fly from Terra.
Oh, this makes way more sense now. Yes, thank you for that connection.
He's
Danny
gonna
and
just
I have
start
known each other for a little
getting
while.
the food down. He's just.
So as they were walking over to the fire giant, depending on how far, Brady is like as quickly as possible filling Crichton in on their adventures. Just like, but the story is a little all
It's just all
around
over the
because
place.
she's so excited. She's like, oh, but I have to backtrack because then we did this. And then, oh my gosh, you should have seen this. And she's just like, as she's holding on, she's telling these stories. And
you
then when
suddenly
he
feel
does,
a hand like on your head, and it's very, very hot. And you kind of look up, and it's the fire giant. And she goes back, to talking in giant to Crichton.
He'll quickly look over and at the rest of the party and kind of like nudge her that way, like, thank you for letting me know. I will be there momentarily. I must speak to all of you, but go have some of my food and be careful of the cleric. He does not seem like a very smart man.
Don't get in combat. It'll be too hard. It'll be too hard to fight yourself. Don't do it.
It's an intelligence 10 versus intelligence 9 character. It's really not gonna be that great of a fight.
wait, Crichton had the 10, right?
Yeah, Crichton has
Oh
the 10.
gosh.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, she's gonna be like, okay, and gives him like one last squeeze. Good to have you back, and then hop down, and then go over, grab some food.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Skiop also seems to be talking with the other stone giants, who seem to be advisors or some kind to the fire giant. And as he's kind of relaying his story, that you watch the other ones kind of look at you at the party with like a new light, like a respect, you know, instead of just like, who are these weirdos walking in? Who are these medium-sized potential enemies within munching distance? And gone from that to kind of just like, okay, these are powerful allies that could help us, and that seems to matter. The fire giant, she's very chaotic. It seems like she's got a lot of the drive, but not a ton of brains. But because of the hierarchy that was established before Gent slew all of the giants, she's in charge. And the stone giants wouldn't try to bypass that.
Okay, so do we want to talk plans on what we're gonna do about this attack? Do we want to talk about what deal we need to strike with the fire giant?
I think it sounds pretty clear that she's willing to she's at least very open to the idea of being allies.
Mhm.
So I don't know how much time we have to discuss alliance per se. I'm a little bit concerned. She seems to think they won't last the night, so I'm a little concerned with what they've been up against.
Okay. So, what should we do? Do we want to come up with a battle plan against this army? Do we want to do some scouting stuff to see if there's any weaknesses we can find in the natives? Do we want to conjure a major image of Harmony and make them all chase him far away, and then we attack from the back? What, like...
I think figuring out if there's any openings or ways to intercept maybe some intel from them would be a good idea, like you were saying.
Do the natives speak a different language?
Yeah, they speak their common.
Yeah, I don't know.
And
what
one of them
intel
also
we'd be able to understand.
Some of them do speak giant.
Yeah, giant.
Okay, cool.
So Crichton might be able to help with some of that.
Okay.
The Crowls are hive minds, so can mine link up with the others that aren't that far away? And
You can
see
send them. You can send
everything
your
else?
Crowl, yes. It's risky. But yes.
Do we think No, the hill giants probably aren't smart enough for us to tell them to
No,
attack
actually,
their masters.
you said they're pretty clever, right? The hill giants?
Thranduin, no. The hill
No?
giants are big dumb.
No.
The hill giants are
giants
big
is
dumb. The
best thing.
stone giants are smart artisan
Stone
types.
giants are smart.
And then the fire giant
Oh.
is like the general
better fix that
zealot
note.
type. No, the hill giants are like.
Hill Giants'
Okay.
best, most pinnacle of intelligence was naming the past. Like that was the
But
whole thing.
if their intelligence is low, they might be easier to manipulate magically.
Oh gosh.
Which is why they're being
They're being
enslaved.
Yeah.
No, but we could put them.
You're
we
not
could...
the only one who thought that.
Wow. How quickly?
You know who else thought that? The bad guys.
Well, if we
How
get
quickly
them
Taylor
on
just
our
goes,
side.
hey, why don't we just completely manipulate them the same way? Ooh, shiny, come on.
So why don't maybe we do a little recon in this camp right now? Because everybody, is it clear that everybody understands our common, at least? They have some level, or is it just a few who...
The hill giants don't. You're going to, so the stone giants and the fire giants, they're able to communicate with you. The hill giants, they're just kind of dumb brutes. Also, Thranduin, you do look outside as you're thinking about it, and you do see multiple Crowls just circling the place.
So you're saying it's dangerous for my crowd to link up mentally with the other ones, or it's dangerous for it to fly around them? Because if it's a hive
It's
mind,
dangerous. It's dangerous that here's why it's dangerous is that there are native shamans who might learn information about you guys through the process.
That's a two-way street.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not worth. Well, do they know where they've retreated to, and are preparing for the attack? Because she said that they're going to attack them tonight, so
the
they
enemy
already
knows
know.
that they're here. The enemy does know that they're here.
So we have more to gain than they do since they already know.
True.
But they don't know what our strat is inside camp.
They don't know that we're
They don't
here.
know the numbers. They don't know that we're here. They don't know, if we decide to concoct something here. It's
There are ways
probably
that we
not the
could
best
prepare.
thing to throw
If
a
it's
Crowl.
we're in a giant dome. So
Yeah, you're in a giant 2-floor dome. There is a slow winding ramp that goes around it up to the second floor. 4 doors on the bottom with multiple kind of bay window-esque platform on the second floor. Thick stone.
So if we're all inside that, they can't really see our numbers anyway.
Not super well, seeing as it's just like a throng of hill giants. There is also a big hole in the center of the first floor.
Where'd it go?
Some kind of lava tube.
Where'd that hole go?
Lava tube.
Oh, another lava tube?
Idea!
Lava tubes?
Okay.
Okay.
I know that I don't think they really like the Iwanti underneath the ground, but because we at Dragon's Ends are starting to like communicate with them and stuff, what if we ask the Iwanti to help out with this war and we can attack with a bigger...
Did the Giants ever have any problems with the Iwanti? I don't think they ever had.
I thought
issues
I
with
heard.
them.
Oh, I thought I heard.
Something about the snake people or something.
No, nothing with the snake people. It was only the villagers.
I thought.
that
Sorry.
had
Oh,
issues.
okay. I thought I heard Ski Op say something. About
I think I did say something along those lines.
Did you?
I'm pretty sure you
yeah.
did.
My apologies. That's a
can't
I
remember
misspoke
why.
there, but good catch. I
Oh,
misspoke there,
okay.
because the
Well,
timeline don't add up for that.
Gotcha.
Sorry about that.
But like, if that's a tube underground, they could get here. Maybe. I don't know.
Possible.
That's not a. I like that idea.
The only issue would be gent conflicts that I can see. But as long as we leave him out of it, then maybe we'll be fine.
I think, enemy of an enemy is my friends, and I think if we just all agree that these guys are bad.
Should we ask Ski Up? See what he thinks.
Yeah, probably.
I would also maybe want to say talk to the fire giant instead. She seems more in charge.
Yeah, Ski Up can. Ski Up
But
can.
she's talking to Crichton right now.
If we're going to talk to a giant, I'm just saying we should probably talk to the one that seems like that she's in charge.
Well, we should probably talk to like that whole little council that they had there, all 6 of them. Wait. Yeah, 6 of them. Because she doesn't seem like the best strategist, but the people behind her seem pretty strategic and smart. They're tinkering with things.
So yeah, well maybe if we talk to, because Ski Up is currently talking to those people, right? The council people. Talk to him, and then
Okay.
he can maybe present the idea.
So the party approaches Skiop. He is currently tattooing a carcass.
What are you doing?
Seems reasonable.
I am practicing runes in the form of magical tattoos.
Practice on me later? That looks pretty. I have these cool rocks. If you could make a design that incorporates my jewels, I think that'd look really cool.
Maybe less practice, more actuality. Let him practice.
I might be interested in something like that, little one.
Yes.
What kind of powers are we talking about here?
Okay.
Magic tattoos, magic tattoos.
Magic tattoo.
We all see knives. We're like, let's all just stab ourselves
Maybe
and
I'll
get
just
some more
get a
magic.
sleeve. You don't know.
I don't see
There's
you
some
saying
crazy
anything about
magic
that.
tattoos that are
These are the
giant
marks,
runes.
aren't
you're
they?
wearing.
Yeah, these are the marks. Okay. Mechanically, woo! But like character-wise, I'm like, what is? Why? Stop!
Honestly, character-wise, Brendan's probably like done with magic tattoos. Like I didn't tell this one off, but I don't want more. You know.
Character-wise, it just looks really pretty.
Could you do it? Could you do it on skin to cover an old mark by chance, or does it have to be on stone?
I can do that.
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind, I would also be interested.
Make
Alright.
a note to redraw characters.
With new tattoos.
They all just have like
It's gotta look
sleeves,
like, they're going to
like
Hot
full
Topic.
sleeves, like.
So this is very late, but I've also been meaning to ask, did Skiop or Lady, or anybody really at this point, have any interest in the gem. Did any of them take note of that
Not
necklace?
particularly.
Okay. Just making sure.
Anyways, tattoos aside, we have position of possibly making a proposition. Do you think the fire giant, what's her name?
She hasn't given us her name.
Oh, you don't know. Okay, cool.
Don't
I'll
know.
ask her later. Do you think she would be willing to maybe work with the Iwanti for this battle? And try and gather our numbers for
Who are
this?
the Awanti?
They live on the island. They live underground. They're like snake people. They've been kind of working with us at Dragon's Edge. You guys know them more. And I'll gesture to the others in the group that know the Iwanti more.
Snake folk?
Yep.
He looks at the other party members.
Yep.
Looking at you, Thranduin.
I mean, yeah, like
Yeah,
you're kind of the ambassador.
I'm trying
down
to
there right
summon
now.
what I remember of them. and
They
their
live
thing.
in the volcano.
They're in the lava tubes or just in the volcano?
They inhabit lava tubes, but that's their means of travel. They worship Gent. They have a new sub-city under Dragon's End. One of the council members is Iwanti the Prince,
Right.
who is brother to the Queen. I have those names written down somewhere.
What did Gent do to the giants again?
Slaughtered
Outlaw.
them wholesale.
Killed all.
Okay, so that was more than just the. Okay, so he did that to giants.
So
and
he did it
dwarves.
to the dwarves, discovered something, did it to the giants, and then Harmony and him locked horns, and they both became benched. Falel, thank you.
Well,
The prince,
Bring it to him.
Falel, is a ally of yours. You and him get along well. You
Right,
actually
yeah.
gave him some stern talk at one point, and he agreed to go up against his sister.
did I? What
Because
did I
of
tell
you.
him?
You basically said,
Wow.
"Hey, I get that people of Dragon's End are not necessarily your friends, but if we have to retreat into the
Oh,
lava
that's
tubes,
right.
you will let us retreat into the lava tubes." And he like buckled.
I told him what's up.
He also had a thing for Dayton.
Thrady's over here just realizing I'm kind of a badass.
He's like, "Oh yeah, flex."
Throw my weight around here.
Get how cool I can be. Okay.
I forgot.
Now
this-
comes the diplomacy of like, we worship Chen. Yeah, we hate that guy. Like, no.
Maybe don't mention that.
Harder for diplomacy on like with the giants, if only for that reason alone. Honestly,
Yeah.
we're not on Harmony's side, but we're also not on Jen's side. But like, kind of.
Like,
We're
some people
against-
are.
You do
We're
know that
against
they
it.
But
incorrectly
they don't
worship
know
Gent.
what Gent is.
This
They
is
only
true.
have this idea of Gent.
They have
like-
what you tell them,
Right. What I-
And the
what I told
Iwanti also don't like the natives.
and you
Like
also.
that's their whole volcano thing.
That's true. They also, Thranduin, you also have that binding agreement of a magic item.
I do.
So,
That means they just have to listen to me, or what is that?
no, they are magically bound to hold up to whatever agreement they sign.
Oh, so you can
So
make an
if
agreement
you
with
bind them together in a truce,
that they can't kill the giants.
that they can't kill each other, and then later they find out about Jen, they still can't go back on that deal.
If they all sign
It sounds so dirty, but like.
Yeah.
That's just my
that's-
immediate
sounded
thoughts.
a
Do your
lot like
thing.
a more
This
diplomatic
is important
version of the
Thranduin
natives.
story arc stuff we're doing here.
Because if you make the treaty like between Dragon's End and the Iwanti and the giants and everyone signs it, that would be really cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
let's use
also-
Jen's magical power to bind them all under a contract.
Yeah, magical contract is not gonna.
Is it gent power? Oh,
I
never
feel like
mind.
that's putting a band-aid on
I thought it was just magic magic.
beheading or something. Like,
And It is gent power, but like, what other option do we have at this point to like really get them going?
The power of friendship.
Yeah.
Just
The
tell.
moral, we have the moral
Just
high
me?
ground.
Okay, gent it is then.
Haven't you seen My Little Spackle? Friendship
Yes.
is magic.
Wow.
Just
Wow. I am impressed with you. You're in rare form, Pillow. Jesus.
Just tell the Yuan-Ti that in Giant, gent means something bad and insulting, and therefore you shouldn't say
And don't
gent
talk about
because
it.
Build lies to start this relationship. That is
Yeah.
the way
Always
to go.
And then
That's
get
the
into
foundation
fall
of a
into a
true
contract that forces their actions. Tell them a lie. Don't have them meet. We have the
Let's just base it off of the natives are bad, and let's solve this problem.
common enemy.
together.
Yes.
So glad that
Have
we're
fun.
keeping to that. You
Because
know.
no one considered the possibility of maybe, I don't know, converting them to the Stormfather.
I was
We
just
all
gonna
just worship
say.
him for
I
a
was
while.
just gonna
Well,
say. Also, if you
my-
really want to eventually convert to the Stormfather,
My thought is to tell them the truth about Gent and what he did to the dwarves completely, and have them abandon Gent completely.
Whoa.
Ooh, I like
That's
that idea, but
tasty.
would Gent sense that? Would he sense the
Maybe,
loss of
and
followers?
then I'll
there
be in
is
lots
also
and
a
lots of
very
pain.
large-scale battle on the horizon. Lots of souls leaving the pain.
Yeah,
Oh, I mean,
that's gonna happen regardless.
So much on the horizon, guys. This has been fun. Thank you for tuning in.
Oh no!
Thank you for tuning in. We're gonna give Thranduin some time to chew on exactly how he wants to play this card. Very important to the story arc as a whole.